All right, guys, another loss for the Utah Jazz, this time against the Memphis Grizzlies. This is the Utah Jazz post-game show on the Hoops Nerd channel. Tough loss for Utah because they started out the game really well. Ricky Rubio started the game. He played well to start the game, and it's something that hasn't been happening for this whole season. Ricky Rubio has had a lot of off nights, and he has had a couple good games. And tonight, with Donovan Mitchell not playing, you would have hoped that Ricky Rubio could have carried them through. It wasn't Ricky Rubio's fault the Jazz lost tonight. There's some things you could look at maybe. If you're a Grizzlies fan, you got to be happy. You get another win against Utah, who eventually will figure it out defensively. Right now, it's frustrating that the Jazz defense isn't quite what it was last season. For the Grizzlies fans, the Mike Conley, Marc Gasol duo works. You've got two guys that can shoot from three, both good passers, and so it opens it up for other players on the team. And it looks like Jaren Jackson is absolutely legit. He looked like it in Summer League, and he's just turning out to be this really phenomenal third weapon for the Grizzlies that goes off of Gasol and Conley. And then you have a game where Shelvin Mack, he's shot 4 for 5 from 3, killed the Jazz again. Shout out to Shelvin Mack. He did it. Good for you. So the Grizzlies look nice, and they play tough, and this game was just not that fun to watch. Honestly, if the Jazz never play the Grizzlies again, I'm not going to be that sad. For the Jazz, there's some things we've got to talk about, and it's finally time. Favors can't start anymore. You can't do it. He's either got to get healthy because he looks like he's lost a step, and that means that knee is just bothering him, or you can't start him. Either way, whether it's injury or not, you can't start him because the team is just that much better when Jay Crowder's on the floor. They're that much better when Georges Niang is on the floor because it stretches the floor. And Favors did hit a corner three to start the game, but he couldn't guard anybody. The biggest benefit you have when you have Rudy Gobert and Derek Favors on the floor is that you play better defense. And the Jazz couldn't guard anyone tonight. They couldn't stop anybody. So if you can't stop them, you better outscore them on the other end. And if you're not getting things finished, if you're not hitting shots from three, if you're not spreading the floor for other players to get to the rim, it's rough. It's time for the Jazz to start looking at Derek Favors as backup to Rudy so that the team can have a spread floor and have Jay Crowder shooting threes and Georges Niang shooting threes and Thabo Sefolosha shooting threes. But I just don't know if you can play Derek Favors at the 4 anymore. And it could be that he's just injured, and that might just be the simple explanation. But if he's injured, why is he starting, and why is he playing so many minutes? We have plenty of starter level players for the Jazz at the 4 spot to win these games. So that's frustrating. And the Dante Exum Ricky Rubio debate is going to continue. Ricky Rubio played great offensively tonight, but Shelvin Mack was 4 for 5 from 3, and that could be part Exum, part Rubio. But that Dante Exum defense is legit, and he gets better and better every day with his offensive game. And tonight he wasn't finishing as well, but when he starts finishing and hitting that 3 with more regularity, it gets better. The fact of the matter is that he can penetrate to the rim at will, and he did it again tonight against a team that does a really good job of closing off lanes. But either way, the Jazz couldn't get stops. They needed stops, and they couldn't get them. The referees sucked tonight, but I bet you that it sucked on both sides. If you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan, you're not happy about the refs, and if you're a Jazz fan, you're definitely not happy about the refs. It was awful. But the refs aren't the reason the Jazz lost this game. They could not get stops. They absolutely could not get stops. They could not stop. The Grizzlies shot like 52% from 3 and over 50% from the field. You don't win if they shoot that well, If they're shooting 52% from 3 and 52% from the field, let them shoot the 2s because the 3s are worth more points. It's frustrating and it's tough, and I know it hurts to see a player go to the rim, but you've got to stop that 3-point shot when it's falling. Tough loss for the Jazz. They'll be fine. The defense will get figured out, but they may need to figure out that defense in other ways with a stretch 4 because right now it's not working with what they're doing. Guys, like and subscribe this channel. There are better days ahead for the Jazz. Don't worry. Don't cry. Like and subscribe. We'll talk about it. We'll be here when the strong Jazz come back. We'll be back. They'll win more games. Talk to you later.